Hello everyone, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from King Karan. The more you control your emotions, the stronger you will be to create generational wealth. The weak-minded will quit crypto after a temporary loss because they want money immediately. This is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. In crypto, you have to leave your emotions at the door, and you cannot panic every time the market turns red. So many people quit way too soon. Some people quit right before it happens. But a lot of people end up in crypto because they think it's a get rich quick scheme. And then they go all in and they soon realize that it's not a get rich quick scheme, that they might have to hold longer term. And then they end up selling at a loss because they were overinvested and they thought it was going to happen, and they just get disappointed and leave. But once you get here, if you start to learn about what you're holding and you start to realize how big this actually is, nothing will ever shake you out of your XRP. Ash go blue on the very early days at Ripple. Take a listen to this.
The most modest office that you can imagine, right? Like no air conditioning. We just opened up the windows sort of places. We made our own desks. You know, Chris Larson was like, we're going to keep the lights on. All right. So we're going to like be super frugal here.
Yes.
But you walked into that office in the morning and you could feel the energy. And, we didn't know exactly, how it was all going to unfold, but like we knew this was going to be big. And we knew that the XRP as the base foundational layer was at the core of it. And so you had Arthur Brito whiteboarding in one room and David Schwartz talking about consensus in another room. And it was just like half being at school and the most invigorating conversation, and half of us just tinkering and building.
And look at what Ripple has become today. Look at what XRP has become. I mean, you could look at the price and say, oh, XRP is a dead cryptocurrency. But when you realize what they're going to use XRP for as the world's bridge currency, you start to realize how big this was meant to be from day one. The XRP killer graveyard. And there's a lot of names on this list: Bitcoin, Stellar, Swift, Ethereum, IBM, JP Morgan coin, and so on. The one thing is this: every single XRP killer somehow never was able to kill XRP. And some of them, they didn't even last very long. They came out, there was so much hype around it, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared over time. But a lot of the cryptocurrencies on this list, they're also ISO cryptocurrencies. So it's not like they were meant to disappear and go away. These cryptocurrencies have a ton of utility, and they're going to be running side by side with XRP inside the new financial system, like Stellar, like IOTA, like XDC, and HBAR, and Algo. And there was never going to be an XRP killer unless you could go back in time and build the rail system that Ripple built over the last decade. You're never going to create an XRP killer. It's just not going to happen. And this comes from XRPresso.io. As the founder of XRPresso, a peer-to-peer marketplace built on the XRP ledger for trading real-world assets, services, and NFTs directly for XRP, I've been disappointed with Ripple's approach. They go on to talk about RLUSD and so on. I don't think they really realize how RLUSD adds more utility for XRP and more value to XRP over time. But I want to talk about their project a little bit. So this is what they created. It's a marketplace on the XRP ledger where you could sell things for XRP, like you see here. And I think that's a great idea. Honestly, you could even sell an iPhone on here for XRP. I think maybe this will get more momentum over time, but I just wanted to point this out as being one of the projects on the XRP ledger. South Korea now accounts for 33% of global XRP volume. They always loved XRP in South Korea. And Japan will be next. Japan is another place where XRP just absolutely rules the game. I mean, it outperforms both Bitcoin and Ethereum in South Korea and Japan time and time again. The crypto is too volatile for institutions line aged badly the moment the same institutions started building on the ledger they mocked. Watch the hands, not the mouth. That was always a narrative that went around the XRP community for years. It's too volatile. It was always XRP, but it's crypto in general, even on the mainstream media news. They always push, well, it's too volatile to be used for this or for that. You know, XRP at some point, it's going to go to a high, stable value. And sure, it's going to climb up slowly from there, but it's going to be sitting at a very high price. And it's going to be utilized by the institutions inside of cross-border payments, utilized to move tokenized assets and so on. Have you gained any new insights over the past week regarding the relationship between cryptocurrency experts and the media? Panic reigned for a week, with rumors swirling that XRP would plummet to 60 cents. Yet today, those same outlets are reporting on why XRP is soaring or why XRP is rebounding. These journalists seem to be doing nothing more than peddling clickbait and personal opinions. What's going on is you have doom and gloom guys in the space now that just push doom and gloom day after day. XRP's not going anywhere. It's a dead cryptocurrency. It's going all the way down under 50 cents. Then on the other side, you have all the people pushing the hype around XRP. It's about to rebound. It's about to go to this price point. This is why it's going to happen next week. This is why it's going to happen in the next 48 hours. Here's the reality of it all. Nobody knows when XRP is going to break out. It's going to come out of nowhere. Everybody wants to be the guy predicting the breakout and predicting the time that it happens. But if they do get it right, it's just because they got lucky. XRP, we could all agree on, it's going up in price. When is it going to happen? Nobody knows for sure. $1 million isn't made it anymore. They printed so much money, a new millionaire is minted every day. Take a listen to this.
$10 million, as people talk about like FU money, that's really kind of the level for FU money today is 10 million. Because if you're making 5% on 10 million, it's $500,000 a year and you never have to touch the principal. And you can live pretty well in almost any place in the world. Used to be back in the 90s, if you had $1 million, you were doing really good. Now, if you got $1 million, there's another millionaire. There's lots of millionaires like every single day that become millionaires here in the US. And it's because they printed so much money. It's not that it's, it is kind of less meaningful because they have printed so much money. So, you're a young guy. You said, you didn't say you're a young guy. You just said you're simple. Farm life, nothing wrong with that. Good, clean living. I live out way away from society, under the stars, and I prefer it that way too. And I'm not saying that to be like downtrodden on anybody or belittle anyone, but if you tried to retire on $1 million and you're younger than 70, you're probably going to outlive that $1 million. You could supplement your lifestyle with that. I mean, if you're making 5%, it's an extra 50 grand a year, which to some people is very meaningful. So I'm not, again, not trying to downplay it, but you're still going to have to work something. You're part-time. You're going to have to do something to make additional income. $50,000 a year, unless you're in like Arkansas, hard to live on.
He's not totally wrong. It's about the person's lifestyle, though. Some people, they could get $1 million and they could put it to work for them and they could easily stop working. Maybe they buy a turnkey business. Maybe they invest in another business and they get X amount of dollars per year from that business. It's hard to say how much is enough, is what I'm saying. But I will definitely say this. It is hard to retire on $1 million. You have to put that $1 million to work for you. And $1 million isn't what it used to be. That's for sure. Because we just watched Elon Musk create 4,400 millionaires. And every day in the United States, another millionaire is made. So remember when they said XRP holders are never going to become millionaires? That's all nonsense. They would never let us get rich. That's nonsense also. They don't care if we get rich. There's only so many of us that are going to make it to the finish line. Most people are going to be out by the time we reach 10 or 15 or $20 anyway. Only certain people that really understand XRP, they're still going to be here at $100. They're going to be here at $1,000. They're never going to sell their XRP, and they're going to put their XRP to work for them. Bitcoin has the Bitcoin pizza story. XRP has the XRP cafe story. Lattes paid with XRP when it was fractions of a cent. This was back in 2013, and Ashko Blue says that those lattes in today's XRP prices would be $120 to $150. You know, it's just like anything. You know, the guy who bought the pizzas with Bitcoin, he never thought Bitcoin was going to reach the price levels that it's at now. Same thing with XRP. Most people thought XRP was never going to break a quarter. They were predicting a quarter in the 2017-2018 run. It went to $3.84. Now people are predicting $10. Other people think it's going to go to 3 digits. I agree with the 3-digit pricing for XRP because I think it comes down to supply and demand. I think the supply is going to be gone and the demand is going to be rising at the same time. But like I always tell you, until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.